So I'm gonna snap off a branch, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start making some primitive tools, and that's kind of one of the key things of what you want to do first off, is to start creating some of these primitive tools to be able to then gather more resources to start making the beginnings of your village. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start gathering branches from this tree. Trees have their own quality level to them. And so now you can see, okay, my forestry is increasing. This is increasing my constitution and my willpower as I'm doing this. And again, forestry is not increasing by much, but it is slowly leveling up as I'm gathering these branches. And again, they're showing up in my inventory up here. Okay, so creating your primitive tools. Once you've got a branch, you can actually hit tab, go over to your inventory, right click on that branch, and then some things will pop up under this branch. I can do a few things with this. I could create a snare, I could drop it if I wanted, I could just create primitive tools. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to left click that. And now I've got a crafting menu showing up. So these are all the different primitive tools that I can create with this branch that I have. And right now it's hovered over sickle. So if I wanted to do that, I'd need one flintstone, one branch, and one plant fiber. I'm not going to worry about a sickle. I do want a shovel. Every one of these items, pretty much, if you've noticed, needs a flint stone. So we don't. I'm not near anywhere where I can gather flint stone. And what you need for a flint stone is you need to look at a ground tile that is made up of rock. So right now I'm kind of in a wooded area, so not much rock here, just mainly green land and trees around. So I'm going to head to some higher ground and hopefully find an area that looks like a rocky area. So I kind of already found back to where I was going with this with the rocky spot. Here's a little rocky area. So I'm going to hold down my right click to know I'm on this tile, let go of it, and now again I'm going to have some more options. Under prospecting, search for useful flintstone. So I'm going to make that my default and start seeing if I can find some flintstone. Now it's not always going to be the case that you find it. Okay, in this case I did, so that's nice. I'm going to click on that same square again. Maybe I can find some more. Okay, it's kind of a hit or miss. You have a certain percentage of finding them, and even if it says you haven't found anything, I could still keep clicking on that style, and eventually I will find more. So you don't always have to just keep going to different rock tiles. So I'm getting pretty lucky here. I'm getting quite a bit right off the bat. I'm also, again, leveling up my prospecting. Along with that, my strength is going up, so that's nice. Now that I have plant fiber, I've got branches, I've got flint stone, let's actually create some of these primitive tools I talked about. So I've got 4 branches, I only need 1. I've got 5 flint, I only need 1, and I've got 4 wild, so let's go ahead and craft this. And so once I'm done crafting it, it'll show up in my inventory. Okay, so as my guildmates are collecting more of the supplies needed to make our guild monument, I'm out hunting because one of the other items we need also to build this guild monument are bones. And so I need to go and hunt some animals. So I just thought I heard a boar close by, so let's see if I can hunt this guy, wherever he might be. And I think that's him right there hiding in the bushes. Alright, so I've got my sling with my sling ammo, pretty much the most primitive weapon that you can get. And let's see. Oh, he's running. Hold still. Alright, see if I can get a few hits on him. There's one. Come on, hold still. You want to try and get him on the broad side. Ah. Okay. Nope, miss. Still, man. There we go. He's coming right for me. Ah. Well, this will make it easy. Alright, there we go. So now that he's down, I can go ahead and right click on him. I can skin him with my primitive knife that I have, and once you skin him, it kind of turns it into a bag, and you can open him up and you can see what's in here. Alright, so we've got an odd claw, we've got some meat And we've got a piece of diseased hide. So these two items here are going to be nice for our potion maker and our herbalist. There's our boar hide for leather, and we got 7 bones along with it. I've already collected quite a bit of herbs. Let's mix preparation. And I'm trying to get flux. The thing is when you first start gathering herbs, you're not going to know what any of them do. And every herb recipe is different per character, so there's no one cookie cutter set of herbs that are going to make flux. It changes with everybody. So basically I put in a couple herbs into this mortar and pestle, and then if 2 of them share the same kind of stat together, then that's the potion I'm going to make. So I just made raise constitution, so that's not what I want. So let's try a different combination of herbs and see if maybe we get hit. So all of these, as you can see, each herb has 3 different effects to it. I don't know any of them yet, and I learned them as I start crafting. So from there I realized that this one has raises intellect, damage stamina, raise intellect, and damage stamina. So again, no luck there with flux. Let's try another one. Okay, so I got lucky there. I got all 3 of them showing me flux. And then if I look over in my inventory, I can see that I now have flux in my inventory because this combination of herb gives it to me. And then depending on how many of those herbs, I can just constantly keep crafting that, and I'll constantly keep getting more and more flux showing up in my inventory. So I'm up to 5 flux right now. And I can just keep crafting that until I run out of those herbs. And then this helps with trading with other people, since everyone doesn't share the same recipes. I might have herbs that don't make flux for me, but make flux for another person. So it really helps with the trade. Alright, so I wanted to go over some of the combat aspects of the game. So as you can see now, I'm kind of set myself up in some full plate armor, and I've got a nice little 2-handed sword on my back. So the way combat works is first you're going to hit the R button. That's going to kind of put you into combat mode. And now you'll notice that I haven't actually drawn my sword yet. What I have right now is just kind of my fists up, and I can start punching. But I have my 2-handed combat. So what I'm going to do is, if you look down here at my hotkeys, 3 and 4, it kind of shows the person pulling something off his back. So for me, it's the 4 button. There's my sword. Now I'm going to go ahead and wield it. And if I hit 4 again, I can go ahead and sheath it. I can also pull it out. I can hit R and kind of go right back. And then now when I hit R, okay, it's going to automatically come out. So it's kind of handy to have that ready. And so the combat is physics based. And so basically, think about like swinging a baseball bat. Like, there's different points on the bat where you're going to get the most out of your swing, much like when you're hitting a baseball. If I'm hitting a baseball sort of in the the lower part of my sword or the lower part of my bat, I'm not going to get as much damage out of that. So it's in my best interest to get a feel for the length of my sword, and I would do that by sparring with my opponents, or just going around and attacking people. Also, you'll notice it's directional. So depending on which way I'm swinging my mouse, that's the kind of attack that I'm about to do. So there's a thrusting attack. I can also do an over-the-head attack. And so each of these different attacks is going to do different types of damage. So obviously those are going to be slashing, that's going to be piercing. Also, you'll notice if I can actually perform combo moves. So one of the moves that I've been able to skill up because my two-handed weaponry is so high is, if you look at some of these, I get combo moves. So at level 60, I got my first combo move. If I do a thrust, right slash, left slash, overhead, I get a combo. It's called power overwhelming. If I get if I do left slash, right slash, left slash, right slash, I get a dismember combo. So if I can perform those while I'm attacking, so here's, you know, left slash, right slash, left slash, and you can kind of see the combo, and there's the dismember. You can see the combo up there happening. I think one of them was thrust, then right slash, then left slash, and then overhead. And now power overwhelming. And so these give me little bonuses while I'm attacking. So again, something else you can kind of work on when you're attacking an opponent. One of the ones I was going to focus on is the unit and formation. I think this is kind of an interesting aspect of the game. So basically you can have like a unit leader. So you can, inside like your guild, if you want to form a group or a unit, you can create this unit. And whoever starts the unit is going to be the leader. And this leader can then shout out these commands, and basically you'll actually hear them shout out like, you know, the wall formation. And you'll see this kind of like on the ground, you'll see a little thing appear. So basically everybody who stands in that color is going to get a bonus. So, you know, one for like hold your ground, it increases defense, but it decreases the speed. So, you know, he can issue the hold your ground command, and then people will come into this little cone of influence, this little area of influence. And the more people that are inside of that, the more the bonus will, the bigger the bonus will get. And so therefore it's going to, me, it makes for some interesting kind of combat techniques where you might, you know, it is in benefit to actually stay in a formation while you're fighting rather than just running around all crazy swinging your sword. So the more disciplined units are going to get benefits from those bonuses.